There are approximately 15 million hunters in the U.S. alone. Many of these would consider their style to be off-grid. In today's society, with constant sprawling of urban growth, boundaries have changed. Off-grid has changed. Today we travel to Blackfoot, Montana to see Tim's brother, Boyd. We are going to check out how he builds and fletches all of his own arrows from scratch, and take a run through his trophy room. He is our next target to crash his party and get an inside look of his off-grid taste. From thousands of requests, we've handpicked individual hunters to invade their personal space and to find out how they get off-grid. Are these guys truly badasses? In order to do this right, we pulled in someone who really knows. Meet host Tim Burnett. This guy eats beer for breakfast. Tim has made a career out of hunting alone. This guy sleeps more nights on the ground than most people do on their own bed. Known for hunting and fishing alone, many consider Tim to be OG solo hunter. And I'm Mark Bellasteri, a comic, TV personality, and a jiu-jitsu fighter from New York. I've been producing TV for over 6 years. Many like to say that I'm a wild jokester, and I guess you could say I like the lighter side of things. Together, we hit the road to see what defines an off-grid hunter. But there's a catch. It's not going to be easy. We're going to jump into their shoes for the day and get an inside look of their different backwoods city lives. We are here to see if they really are an off-grid hunter.
This week, Mark and I have been in west central Montana, hanging out with a couple of crazy off-grid hunters, Joe Boyer and Brian Soule. But neither of those two are as mental as this next guy. I could easily say that he's borderline insane, a lot like me. I couldn't come to this part of the country without stopping in to visit my younger brother, Boyd. He and I share a very common bond as brothers, but no fooling, this kid is also one of the best and most effective hunters I know. When he and I get together, it's non-stop talk about bows, arrows, hunting, and planning our next trips together.
In there and setting up on them, and all of a sudden they took off, and we're wondering why. And then we saw a guy down there. It ended up being Brad Gamet. But they were going up the ridge, and you could see right where they were going. I was like, Tim, they're going to that saddle. And what did you say? I ain't going up there.
I'm going up down.
You can't get up there before they get there.
No, I literally sat down, put everything on the rocks, and I'm sitting there, and it seemed like 5 minutes or less, and all of a sudden there's Boyd at the top, and I was just like in shock. And the elk had already gone over, so I was trying to elk call to get him to realize that he was wasting his time. And by doing that, the elk went over and Boyd popped over the top, and then the bull kind of came over curious, and I'm watching the whole thing, and all of a sudden the bull's like, and then runs down the hill and dies right in front of me.
Yeah.
That was the quick version of the story. I knew you were going to drag it out for a long time.
But I just remember dying.
Ever since we were kids, we were into archery. I mean, really, we kind of started archery hunting before we started gun hunting.
Oh, we did? Yeah. We did. I don't know if Tim said it on film, but our dad, we love him to death. He'll always be our #1 hero in life, but he doesn't hunt, doesn't fish, doesn't have the desire. He lets us do it, but you know, I'm grateful for the mentors that got us into it. People think I'm kind of odd when I ask when they get a turkey if they want their wings. I love them. Okay. So we still do make our own arrows. The cool thing about the turkey feathers is, do you know why I have a right wing feather?
So you should say, I'm going to take this feather because it's a right wing feather.
Do you know why I own a right wing helical?
No, because you're a little bit left brained. I don't know. Yes, he does, but not only does he love feathers, I think he's got some kind of a sick infatuation, or maybe even a love affair.
You can tell it's on the right wing, and so I snip them off. You saw that a few minutes ago, snip them off.
Just the bureaucrats in the White House that are right wing left.
Yeah, some people say if you're right-handed, you should shoot left helical, and others say, but it's all, we had left, so we had left helical Fletcher growing up because it was cheaper. But then, and there you have a beautiful, beautiful feather. But so I like wild turkey feathers because they are naturally right down the...
So have we beat this feather thing to death yet, or should we
Probably.
move on or something?
So let me finish. Quit talking and let me finish here.
You know you got to keep that in the show, don't you, Mark?
I'll beat you to death. Dang older brothers thinks he's cool.
I don't think I'm cool. It's just
so you're splitting
a matter
them.
of fact. All kidding aside, when it comes to archery hunting, there's nobody on earth as passionate or skilled as Boyd. He's just a good dude.
That's just terrible.
My brother Boyd is a very lucky man. Not only does he have one of the coolest dudes in history as a big brother, but he also lives here in one of the coolest places in the world for a hunter. Living here in Montana has given him and his family the lifestyles that any outdoorsman would dream of. In any given day, he could be hunting for mule deer, whitetail, antelope, elk, bear, wolf, mountain lion, coyote, chicken, lizard, or lobster. Okay, lobster maybe, but you get the picture. Montana is a sportsman's paradise.
Just gonna have some fun looking for antelope and elk today, actually. Just had 40 head of elk across the highway back there on the way in. Just a bunch of spikes, though. A couple little dink raghorns, but go see what we can do today. Hunting the sagebrush. Goal is to get up there today, by the end of the day. Just exploring today. Got some trees. Kind of buried in the dirt. Looks a little old. Nothing better than a day in the woods or the day in the sagebrush. Kind of lonely today. Oh, arrows flying. Wow. Kill the sagebrush. In a stockable spot. Just a couple of mediocre bucks, little guys, but they're some really tiny dinks. Just saw a nice buck just 100 yards from me go up over that. I didn't even see him. I gotta run up there and see if I can cut him off going through that saddle. This buck just got chased away by the bigger buck. Now he's looping around in front of him. Well, they officially kicked my tail. Oh, they're looking at me. Normally I'd be a little more stealthy leaving, but I got a long ways to go.
This segment of Off-Grid Hunter is brought to you by G5, designed to hunt. Prime, accuracy is everything. MOA Rifles, the evolution of long-range hunting. Random Gear, the makers of Solo Hunter rifle covers. Outdoor Edge, quality knives and tools for all of your outdoor adventures.
Just before I left work yesterday, I checked the Montana draw results, and you're looking at the proud owner of a Gardner bison tag.
Today we're telling stories and showing off a couple of off-grid hunts from my younger brother Boyd. Elk seem to be a favorite of his, but hunting them solo is never an easy task.
Finally found them. We're pretty high, but they're bugling pretty good over there. I think there's 2 or 3 big bulls bugling. For sure 2. But then I could see a couple bunch of elk over on the other side. But they're working their way this way, and the wind, as dry as it is, the wind's not the greatest. I might just wait and see if they work their way over here to the water over here. Just see what happens and move in on them. Looked like a pretty good bull. Hiking up here to the top. I don't know if I got it on film, but I missed a little 6-point. I don't know why I continue to not pick a spot, but I do. 10 minutes of legal flight. Just had a bull bugling. Called him into 40 yards and thumped him. He's over there still dying. Can't go anywhere. I haven't turned the camera on because it's literally been 15 minutes of legal shooting light. Heard him bugling, set up and called. I couldn't believe he came down here. Wow. Pretty cool. This is pretty professional filmography or whatever you call it, but I'm just going to show it. As I remember watching a video that Larry D. Jones and Dwight Schroe put on how to cut up an elk when I was a tiny kid before I even killed an elk when I was 10 or 11. And anyway, I've always done it this way, so I don't remember if it's exactly how those guys did it anymore, but that's how I do it. But that's how I learned. So we'll get after it.
Man, it's pretty cool to see Boyd build all those arrows from scratch. He makes it look so easy. I'm glad we got to stop by and pay a visit to Tim's brother Boyd.
as I struggle